Hey guys, welcome to No Guts, No Galaxy. My name is Phil. If you are new here, welcome. If you are returning, welcome back. We're reviewing some games played on my Twitch channel over the past few months, and I'm stepping away from my comfort zone and taking suggestions from the community. And it's been a blast. Trying new games, experiences. It's been absolutely fantastic. But let's go ahead and jump into the reviews and see what the channel and I have been up to, and whether or not you also want to experience those. All right, next up is Star Wars Squadrons. This had a lot of hype when it was announced, came out, and I didn't really ever look back. I had on my wish list. Someone gifted it to me, and it's been sitting in my inventory. And so I was like, hey, let's check it out. All right, next up is Cyberpunk 2077. This was an absolute gem of a game, and I'll be upfront about it. I loved it. We're taking a look quickly at the very beginning customization, and also quick shout out to my Twitch chat that helped me turn off so you don't show off some dong or cleavage or whatever. So we got that. I also don't know why that is important in games nowadays, but whatever. As far as the game and customization here, the reason I'm pointing out some of this is that this is actually one of the negatives things that I'll bring up about Cyberpunk, which is this is it. This is all you can do. When you create your character here, you can't change your character. I think that's a huge fault in Cyberpunk, and just to be very upfront, like if they were to do any expansions, DLCs, whatever they're going to do, you need a barbershop, you need somewhere you can go in. I mean, you can change your cyberware and take out your eyeballs, but you can't change how you look or shave. It's a pretty big fault. Or if you want to aesthetically look like some of the other stuff, get some chrome, you can't do any of that. Now, I think there's mods for that, but my point being is I just wanted to point out some things here. And again, it's just one of those things. My overall experience was absolutely fantastic. Narration was great. Story is great. There's so many different endings as well. I experienced a few different ones. Don't want to spoiler any of those. The gameplay was great. I basically was a run and gun with assault weapons and submachine guns. Go figure. It's what I like. I definitely want to replay this in a more stealthy approach, and do maybe like a samurai and hacking cyber hacks. But this is the very beginning of the game. Another negative is cars really don't matter. They probably need to put a little bit more effort than just Pokemon. Gotta collect them all. But yeah, story, narration, it's fantastic. There's some really deep stuff in here. There's side missions and quests that I think hit pretty hard, especially, real level, real level. Yeah, the real world level that we're living in, Phil. There's stories that I think, they deal with death and suicide and depression and anger and revenge, and you've got romance, and you've got so many things to this game. And I will say this again, I've put a lot of hours into this game, and I am totally looking forward to doing this again. Overall, fantastic experience. The gunplay is awesome. Now, UI, I do like the UI of the game. It's pretty simple. That being said, the color scheme, I think some people may have issues with, especially if you have any type of color blindness and stuff like this. There's no way to change this. That's another fault too, is you couldn't change any of the colors of the UI, which I think that would be really cool. Everything's, like I said, it's fantastic being able to craft your equipment, to change it out. And some of the stuff that wasn't really explained well, the cool thing is I was able to ask my Twitch chat. Now, that could be a fault of the game as well, but with a lot of depth. I tried doing all the side quests, or as many as I could. I was doing, cyber psychos. I was going around doing a lot of the stuff, and I didn't even get done with those. And so on my next playthrough, I'm going to be doing all of them, and it's going to be a full playthrough, all the missions, everything through. Like I said, it's a great story, and it was one of those things where, again, to experience something like this, I've never played a game like this. And, coming from obviously MechWar Online and Mech 5 and HBS Battletech to something of this level, The facial animations were great. The voice acting was fantastic. The stories, also, I'm a klepto hobbit. I can't help myself. All right, I have a problem. I have to loot. I'm a loot goblin. Okay, is that what you wanted to hear me say? I'm a loot goblin. I love this from the beginning to the end. I thought the story was fantastic. Again, you feel bad for certain characters. You want other characters to like, oh, you got what you got, and it's one of those experiences that I absolutely adored. I had a great time, and I can't wait to do it again. And it's one of those things that when you play a game of this magnitude and scope, it definitely changes, at least in my opinion, changes your idea of what games are. So, absolutely adore it. So we talked about UI. Let's talk about the world that you live in. Um, it's it's awesome. I mean, it's this full cityscape that you're riding around and gunning through, and you're traveling from one end, that's got a certain style, all the way to the other. I mean, industrial area to you're in downtown. Obviously, all the buildings aren't explorable, but I feel like that's where the games are gonna end up going, right? And so Worldscape, I know some people had some critiques about maybe the environment. It wasn't as post-apocalyptic, if you will, and there's some mods for that, of course. But from my just playing, you do run into weather, probably not as often as you should, whether it's rain or clouds or fog or, sandstorms, whatever. This was great. I loved, again, the different weapon systems. I scratched the surface with them. I didn't enjoy the smart weapons, but I've told if you go down that rabbit hole, they're pretty powerful. I didn't use melee as much. It's just one of those things where I run and gunned. Here I am being a loot goblin. Again, I had such an amazing experience with this, and I learned so much from the start to end. That I'm excited to go and play again. And obviously, we don't know DLC wise what they're going to do, but it's a game. If I was to give it a score, honestly, if I'm really honest about it, with the faults that there is in the game, and again, some of those shortcomings, the lack of customization to your character, the lack of as far as diversity, as far as what to do with vehicles and stuff like that. The issues with police, I did run into that where you would just trigger them for whatever reason. There was a few bugs still out there. I would definitely give this game and just keep in mind, this is my experience, I'd give this game an 8 out of 10. And the reason being it gets a fill score of that is because I still thoroughly enjoyed this game, even with the flaws that it had. And again, I came in post launch to this, so it's had some patches and stuff like that, and I think they're planning DLC and other things. 8 out of 10 I think is fine, right? I think that's more than fair, and I'm looking forward to doing it again and experiencing some of the other endings. And yeah, definitely 8 out of 10. If you see this, if it's on sale and you haven't played it again, do you like open world exploration, stuff like that? Do you like the side quests where, again, the cool thing with the side quests that I really liked is it actually introduce you to characters that have real meaning, right? And it can affect, the end and some of the story and dialogue that, you experience. And I like that. And again, coming from CD Projekt Red, Witcher 3 and all that, so that's what you're expecting. Thoroughly looking forward to playing this game again. So if that says anything, out of the 60, 70 hours, or however many I put into it, I'm excited to do this all over again and even more. So I think that sort of gives you a perspective. So some things that I'd like to see improve, of course, are character customization. Like, I should be able to replace my leg if I want to, or something like that, or get some chrome, or whatever. I should be able to change my hair color. It's like, this is a story that happens over time. I should be able to shave my beard if I want, or grow hair, or whatever I want to do. The cars and customization and that would be a really cool thing, making cars. You don't really get chased at all. That's another thing. Like, the cops will just let you take off. They won't pursue you or whatever. So that would be, again, another system that I think could be really improved, that I'd like to see. But Overall, 8 out of 10. Can't wait to play this again. The dialogue, the narration, the storytelling was great. There are some bugs out there, obviously, but from me experiencing this raises the bar as far as games and experiences to another level. And I didn't know what to expect. And I was thoroughly happy with the experience that I got in the overall story here. So, again, if you haven't checked it out, I would highly recommend.